Oh, what a difference a day makes! Yes, let's see what the update is in the matter of the Revive farming nerf situation. And just to let you know, the Revive farming topic is going to be the main coverage today in the MCN. But we'll also look into Star Wolverine entering the featured arena tomorrow. That's a bit of good news. But a bit of bad news is the compensation for Transformers Forged to Fight may not have been what players were expecting and hoping for. So we'll look into all those particular topics. Oh, lads and dudes, dudes and lads, and ladies as well, of course, for the ladies that watch the videos. Well, what can you really say? I woke up this morning and I'm just thinking like, whoa, last night was a bit of a thing, wasn't it? I already planned out what I was going to be making this week, but I'm going to have to change it around. I feel like because personally, I need to reevaluate the way that I approach my farming in Marvel Contest of Champions and where I go for certain things. It's going to change the dynamic of how I structure my month around the game, especially with the future, and also like the extent of like the work that I have to do now in order to get EOP done. So that's something that I've got to consider as well. But I'm going to make a lot of videos on this particular topic, especially because it is affecting a lot of free-to-play players and non-spending players like myself. You know, you've got to make allowances, you've got to make changes, and it's not always going to be rosy, sadly.
Hulk smash Kabam for removing Revive farming.
I went a bit Arnold Schwarzenegger. But yeah, here's the thing. We have got ourselves a little sponsor for the video, which is the Marvel Movie Figurine Collection by FanHome. Go and check it out now. Let's roll the video. This video is sponsored by FanHome and the Marvel Movie Collection. Oh, I'm very excited to be partnering with FanHome on this one. So they're a brand dedicated to developing unique collections and build up models from the best loved brands like Marvel and Star Wars. They also provide fully illustrated magazines and inspiring content with every product. And how it works is you choose your collection or build up a model and subscribe. Just go to the website. Now, it's not just about Marvel. You could choose from any other franchise they've got, like Transformers, they've got Fast and Furious, they've got Back to the Future, they've got Star Wars, they've got so many more. Every month you'll receive an exclusive product and magazine, which include rare images and behind the scenes information. And also the Marvel superheroes you get on a monthly basis as part of your subscription are officially licensed based on the likeness of the Marvel Cinematic Universe at a 1/16th scale. The figurines have painstaking attention to detail, mimicking the character's appearance in specific movies. In your first package you'll receive an Iron Man and Captain America just as they appear in the Avengers. So go and check out my promo code and the link in the description to take you to FanHome. And if you subscribe by the 31st of March 2023, you'll also receive the 15.5cm Groot figurine as part of the early bird promotion. But that's not just all. All subscribers will also receive these amazing gifts during their subscription: a Marvel Movie Figurines display stand, Rocket Raccoon figurine, Marvel Movie Figurines metal box, and 3 posters. If you are choosing the premium offer, you'll receive these amazing additional Iron Man variant figurines during your subscription: Mark 12 Prototype, Mark 41 Bones, Mark 39 Star Boost, Mark 25 Striker, and Mark 17 Heartbreaker. Thanks very much to FanHome for sponsoring this video. Go and check out the Marvel Movie Collection in the link in the description down below. And I tell you what, these magazines have some amazing insights, especially with Chris Evans opening up about how he felt the box office performance was paramount for Captain America, especially leading up to the Avengers film. So for all this and more, start your collection at FanHome today. Thanks to FanHome again for sponsoring this video. Go and check it out in the link in the description and set up a subscription and a set today. But also, let's get into some news for the show and all the stuff that's happening within the community. So first of all, pretty exciting to note that we're going to get a 6-star Wolverine. This is the good news. This is the positive bit of the MCN before we have to talk about the other stuff. I think a lot of people may have noticed this in game, which, you know, this player noticed, which was that a 6-star Wolverine has become available. And then was kind of like, I mean, for me, I was like going, I got a message on Instagram saying there's a 6-star Wolverine available in arenas. What? But yeah, finally Wolverine is becoming a 6-star available champion, which is great for the playable sphere and will be great in future for saving up 6-star feature or 6-star crystal shards for the featured, because I assume that then that would go into the featured at a later date, or as well go into the dual class. Why is somebody texting me? If you heard that buzz, I'm going to brush off that one. It's me, not you. So if you're kind of being paranoid going, My phone just vibrate. No, it was me. Shush phone. Any case, featured Wolverine Arena will drop this Thursday. Very exciting. We'll try and do some predictions towards the end of the video. It's going to be difficult because I just feel people are going to go nuts. However, though, will people of mass people left the game as a result of some of the things Kabam posted last night, and it was the straw that broke the camel's back? Possibly, possibly not. We've also got Iron Man Infamous entering into the arena as a basic. Two very interesting arenas for players. I'm very fortunate to have an Infamous Iron Man from a bit of luck from a crystal recently and awakened it. And yeah, Wolverine is a champion I really want. I just don't know if I want to devote the time. To be honest, this kind of stuff with MCOC in the last 24 hours has made me just a bit annoyed with Kabam, and I kind of feel like I might want to spend this weekend just going out in the garden and doing work on it. And I kind of feel like that would be the better thing to do, just for like my own just sanity, and also maybe think of some other games I can cover in future, maybe on this channel, maybe on the second channel. I don't really know. And now we move on to Transformers Migration Compensation Package. So for those who played Transformers Forged to Fight, you would have had a compensation package, and then it's you know, opening up in game, and you got one of two. But it wasn't really described as to like what the differences is. If you saw my video yesterday on this one, and also saw the response from Kabam Mike on this one, it's very much here. This will not be based on your spend, roster, or progression. There are only two packages, and it is based on a threshold that we will not be discussing. So again, everyone is none the wiser on that one. But it did bring up a debate about what you feel like you should have got versus, and also what's saying the current meta is kind of like good to be distributed out. Whether or not, you know, you've been playing Forged to Fight up until the very last day of its existence, whether or not you got to a certain point, we don't really know, because Kabam said it's not based off of anything. But there are specifics to it, and whether or not you had to be in the original beta for the Forged to Fight in order to be able to get the latter point, again, no one really knows. It's all speculative with it, but definitely like you know, lots of thoughts on this. Very much here when we kind of covered this yesterday. So this particular player, Master Smoke, who got the 6-star side of things, 6-star Nexus, said play since day one all the way up to until the end. This particular player, Roddy Roadster, says, so what was this compensation based on? I got this but had rank 6 5-stars and had all the legends of Cybertron 100% done. It came with a rank 5 gem as well. It's just not visible in the picture, but like, I guess it's the case you had to be playing since day one to day end to get the better compensation package. This particular thread has now been closed down, and I was like, the reason I went kind of late was like, I made like a weird expression, is that I was just thinking to myself, well, this is not based on your spend, roster, or progression, so I guess then it's based on activity. And there's the threshold that we'll be not discussing. Well, looks like it is a case of activity from day one, like logging in X amount of days. But in any case, it gives you an idea. Some people felt like it just wasn't worth kind of waiting around for. Others were just like going like, stuff is stuff. I wouldn't have got anything otherwise. So yeah, differences of opinions and thoughts on it. But it was a compensation package. Now on to the big story of today, and that is all about the changes to Revive farming. It's still something I'm trying to get my head around, mainly because there's a lot of thought processes that are going through my head. Number one is my own personal, like how I'm deciding to tackle in-game content going forward. Also looking at what Kabam are putting in place as to how I prepare my Revive farming. But then the other side of things is then going, the second part is what information I'm collecting from the community to then show to Kabam as to like, look, you know, this is why you shouldn't be looking to make these changes. And a third thing being like, well, how do I do guides moving forward on stuff when it comes to, say, you know, acquiring these particular revives, and also different like consumables going forward. And then there's a fourth thing of like this apothecary and trying to dissect that. So it's like so many levels of dissection. I'm trying to kind of formulate like what I'm doing in my brain. It's like, it's a bit of a mush. I think by the end of the day I'll have a bit of a head on like what I'm kind of like doing are these 4 different like topics or things that I'm meant to be covering. But it is just yeah, it's a poop show, to be honest, in all actuality. with this. I'm still baffled as to why Kabam needed to. I mean, look, Kabam justify the reasons as to why they're making the particular changes, but at the same time, their own omissions are in some ways the wrong ways that they're dissecting it. You know, one of my particular takes of yesterday was that if players are using a lot of revives in a particular piece of content and also will need to do the 100 to 300,000 revives being farmed using the method, why don't you start looking inwards first as to why are players using revives on this content? I thought that would be very clear from the very kind of like from the outset. But this does feel like this is more about encouraging players to spend money within the game. Something now, if I even thought this year, and I thought we had a good start to the year, that by the end of it I might be considering to kind of come back to spending after taking my hiatus from spending back in December 2021. I thought, okay, well, you know, by the end of the year, I feel that where Kabam are going is okay. We might have got through the relic stuff and other things. I might be interested to spend again. I'm now put off spending on this game, like, full stop. There's taking this out and having a poorly researched implementation idea of the apothecary is just bad. Okay, so all kind of like, you know, and that's the thing. I've got there's so many points that even in the video I put out yesterday, there's so many things missing from creating a structured retort, dissection, tons. I mean, maybe I'll kind of like, me and Dan will sit down on Sunday and kind of like properly dissect this, but it's just a case of like, now what Kabam like to do is their approach to game development is they go into a room, they cut a fart, and then they leave the room and leave us in the room with the smell until, you know, and lock us in the room, and then we basically have to wait until they come to unlock the door and go like, oh, does it smell in here? Oh, I could open up a window and throw some air freshener in. And that's kind of their approach there to kind of doing, you know, this particular new things in game. The same thing with relics. The same thing with anything of the past. But in any case, to the point. We got to get to the point. And I think that's the thing. Like, so in a topsy-turvy word of Kabam telling me, get good, kid, or quit the game, they're not, by the way, they're not saying that. It just means I've got to change the way that I approach the game. I don't like this at all, but it looks like they're very hell-bent on kind of doing this apothecary thing, which is going to be an ongoing thing. So let's end this segment on what Kabam are actually doing at this particular stage, or what they're planning to do. And so Jax, I feel for Jax because he's been put in at the deep end with this one. Thank you for your feedback. We are reading every comment. Please keep your messages constructive. You know that's not going to happen. Most of you have so far. Thank you for that. Based on the feedback in this thread, we have started internal discussions around adjusting Revive Potion inventory caps. I don't think that's going to help out at all. This is not a guaranteed change. Well, that's even worse. But it is what is most prominently being discussed. No. These conversations will continue to take place behind the scenes and could grow to include other potential adjustments as well. Please do. We'll use this thread to provide updates when we have news to share. But yeah, for me, it's like, look, if Kabam are so hellbent, they're hellbent on making this change at this particular like point. So if they are going to make that particular change, then they need to, and in my opinion, the feedback that I've given Kabam on this one is that you need to increase the volume of take home of revives from the apothecary and give a better, because this is only for 5 days. Is it 5 days? Or it says 12 a.m. I see that's like, is that 6 days? I don't know, whatever it is. Like, to me, that looks like it's 6 days, but I think it's 5 days. Monday to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Sorry, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 5 days. So it's five technical days of running over the 12 a.m. to whatever it is thing, right? This needs to be buffed up. Having some airy-fairy, wishy-washy chance of getting an extra revive is pants. Getting 1 revive guaranteed each day, so that's 5 a day, plus your 22-hour events, which could be about 5, 6, that's say like 10 or 11. 11 revives a week is pathetic, and that means like for someone like myself, I'm going to need 6 weeks of grind in this quest in order to get the revives that I need. I could be able to find a way out of this one, which I'm going to be working on some like content, but you know, it's going to be a case of like speculative, because we don't know 100% that Kabam are going to change this to good, bad, or keep it ugly, but we need to kind of like get an idea. Man, this is not ideal, not great. I think that Kabam could have done better with this, like saying, hey, by the way, we're reducing down the chance of getting a revive, which used to be a 60% or like an 80% chance, or whatever chance it is, dropping it to from a guarantee to about, you know, 50 to 60%. Then they wouldn't need to do an apothecary, number one, and number two, at least it would allow players to not feel that Kabam are not listening. So that's the thing as well. Yeah, I'm still, as I said, I'm still baffled, still kind of like gobsmacked, really is the word with this one. But yeah, more to come on that subject. But in any case, on to arena predictions for Wolverine as a 6-star, and also the featured arena, and also Iron Man Infamous. So I'm going with 270 mil, which seems a bit high, but that seems to be like what's going on with the arena. 270 mil, to be honest, you might want to put that up. It could go down. 55 mil for the 5-star version, 70 mil for the 6-star Infamous Iron Man, 20 mil for the 5-star Infamous Iron Man, and that's been my predictions for these upcoming arenas. Good luck. I'm still debating whether or not I want to get involved with the 6-star Wolverine one. Personally, not, because I just think that I want to take a little bit of time to chill away from this game, because this week has just been very draining in these last 24 hours, and I think it's going to be quite draining towards the end of the week too. And finally, thank you very much to everybody that supports the channel as a YouTube member and as a Patreon. You're on screen right now. Also, those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. I will hopefully be live streaming tonight. It's just with all this stuff that's dropped over the last 24 hours, it's just like taken away a lot of my time. But yeah, thanks everybody, and I will also see you in some other content, which should be on screen right now. Next video will probably be a dissection into like how I plan to evaluate and reevaluate what I'm going to do in game based on tackling end game content, and if there's any kind of like positives and negatives, we can look into this one. But in any case, thanks for watching, and see you all soon. Bye bye.